Barcelona, welcome to Bridge. Where are you coming from?
From Ibiza.
Right now from Ibiza?
Yeah.
Okay. Where you play there?
We played Mambo's last week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, getting warmed up.
Tight schedule as usual.
Yep. Yeah.
Traveling around on all the flight stuff and everything.
Yep. That's how it goes.
So you're from New York, right?
Yes.
And you born there?
Yes.
And your family is from New York as well?
Yeah. Whole family, New York. Yep.
Uh-huh. Brooklyn, to be.
Brooklyn, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when was that moment when you start with what happened in your life on that moment? When was your first connection with music? For example, some people, or in my case, on some of our members here, they have some friends that he was DJ, or they start to listen to some songs. Of course, nowadays it's different than that days. So how was in your case?
Yeah, I saw a show, like a friend of mine was playing records back and forth, and that's how I got into it. You know, I got mesmerized by, what they was doing and playing.
But did you have turntables at home?
No, that came like later. I was just really just checking out what the guy was doing and how he was playing music for the people, and then I got it later. No, it wasn't a club. It was in like just a street fair. Just like in a street. Yeah. It's just like it's called a bazaar. So people just come out and they just party and stuff like that. So just right in the street.
And then after that, you start to go to shops and interesting.
Yeah, started to check it out more, see what it's all about. Start seeing things on TV and stuff like that. So got more interested in it.
There was already a scene on that time, like a club scene.
It was more disco back then and hip hop stuff. So I got into more of the hip hop stuff first.
So I guess that your first influences are coming from disco, maybe, and hip hop.
More hip hop.
Uh-huh.
That's how I started, more hip hop.
And after you start to play, at some point you decided to become a producer.
Was more like DJing first. I didn't really know how to do the producing thing until like later. I had to learn it. So more like a DJ thing, because I used to do break beats, going back and forth, cutting up break beats.
So you have already disco, hip hop, break beats. So
I come from a lot of different, Latin. There's a lot of people in the neighborhood, different cultures.
And this moment when you decided, or when you started to produce music.
Yeah.
Did you have some friends that they produce music as well? Or
a couple friends. We used to just, scratch records and go back and forth, scratching records and MCing and stuff like that. And then we went to clubs, and that's when I got into producing.
Nowadays, for example, we can start making music at home with the computer. But
it's a lot easier today. Yeah, back then it's like treacherous.
Booking a studio.
Studio. You had to have some equipment. It was definitely different.
Start to learning, or with an engineer on that moment.
Engineering, you read a lot of the manuals, the books, understanding, 16 beats and stuff like that. It was very technical.
No YouTube with tutorials.
No, you guys got it easy.
Yeah. That's true. And at some point you start to have your own career, your name established in the scene in New York. Or
it started. It was wasn't as fast as that, but
of course not.
It started with the DJing, then the producing, then getting to know certain people, and then studying records. Like I just used to go buy records and study what they're doing in the record, and write everything down, to figure it out, what they're doing.
Like looking on the.
Well, you're listening. You're saying bass line, guitar, drum beat, kick, snare, hi-hat. You start to learn what's in the record.
And there was a very important moment in your career that something happened from New York to Europe, right?
Well, that was after a couple records came out. Like I did hip-hop, then I did freestyle, and then I did house. So a couple of house records came out, and then they came out on a label called Sleeping Bag. And after it came out on Sleeping Bag Records, we went on tour, Sleeping Bag tour. So it was me, Mantronics, Nice and Smooth, Tila Rock, Just Ice. We all went on tour in London.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And did you stay in London for a while or just touring?
Yeah, we was there for like a month and a half tour. Yeah.
And then from that moment, something changed in your career because of that big hit in Europe.
Well, I just noticed that you could make money out of this, and it's fun, and it's more to it than what I started with. So I took it more seriously after that.
And on that moment, when the New York scene, for example, it's related. New York scene, garage house, Chicago house, right? Some people that don't really understand. I mean, some people from nowadays,
right,
new generations, they don't get the connection from New York with Chicago house, because there's a lot of DJs from garage house or New York that are very related with Chicago, right?
Right. Well, I didn't get that together yet either. I was learning as I go, so I was learning the people that did the records and stuff like that as well. I didn't know Chicago house. I just made a beat. I didn't really know it. I learned it as I was going. I learned out who's Marshall Jefferson, who's Derek May and Kevin Saunderson. I learned that as I was getting into it. So I was making records as I was learning, basically.
And then with the time, of course, the Chicago house becomes as...
Then you understood it and respected it, from the craft from the beginning, from Frankie and whoever, did records.
Actually, many years ago, not many, but maybe 2015 here in Barcelona, we did a series, it calls House Class. And I met there, on that time, we did a documentary. And then we traveled there and we did some interviews for this, and it was, all those names that you mentioned now, they were playing in that cycle, and you as well.
Nice.
It was Andres, I don't know.
Andres, of course.
Yeah. Also as producer, remixer, after this big moment in your career, I wrote this like Snap, Annie Lennox, George Michael, Bjork, Everything But the Girl, Garbage, Cardigans, Jamiroquai.
Come on, more.
More and more. Yeah, of course. He's just among some artists.
Yeah, I did tons of remixes. It was, just started coming to me because they just wanted me to keep on making the same type of beat or style with pop music. So that's what I did. I mixed my underground with pop.
But it was a management taking all those requests, or just
it was all management. The labels would call the management and they would set everything up. I wasn't gonna do it because I don't talk to people right. I get too mad sometimes. But they they negotiate the deals and put everything together, and I just got in the studio.
Yeah, nowadays it's different. People can connect you straight away.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's definitely a different thing.
Things changed in many ways from that time.
Yeah. I don't think without management, I wouldn't have done it that way. I wouldn't have been maybe that successful in a little way. I think I would have, I would have had a different attitude towards it.
And on that moment, did you have any, for example, this place is a hub, okay? And here sometimes important DJs, they come and share the place and the studio. Did you have, Master of Work, Kenny Dope, or other friends, a place to join together?
Well, we did a couple of sessions. We did the Magic sessions, and we had everybody there, and we all worked together and stuff like that. But most of the time, I just work with, Kenny and Louie. That's we've been in studios a lot together, studios. Sleepless nights, studios and sessions and a bunch of records. We done a lot of records together.
Are them from New York, right? So you met there in the scene.
Yeah, the whole New York scene. Louie playing all the clubs. Kenny playing all the other clubs. Me playing the other clubs. It was just a family.
Yeah. And the last is of those names is the multi-platinum Space Jam soundtrack.
That came after all the remixes. They wanted something for Space Jam that was like me and Robin S. together. That was the first collabo from back in the days. So we put the song together. It took us a week or so. She sung it over. I did over the music. Kept on coming back until we got it right. And then it was on the soundtrack. It was really successful at the time. They was
actually
happy.
I can see you acting in the movie.
I can act. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, turn it up. What you don't? What you do? You have family? Are you married or kids?
Yeah, I'm not married, but yeah, I have 3 kids. My kids are older, now.
Are they influenced by music?
Well, my son does rap music, and then my other son is just like, getting into it, yeah.
And you tell them like, no, this.
No, I don't tell them nothing.
Nothing.
No, they gotta learn on their own.
Do what you're doing.
I suffered; they gotta suffer too. Yeah.
Yeah, learning it sometimes
It's got to be hard for them. It can't be
a personal
easy.
way for everyone.
No easy roads. No.
Okay. And for you, in all those moments of music creation, there was like banks of samples.
It was a lot of samples, yeah. But
No, for example, with Dennis, he
Yeah.
said on that moment he went to some samples, but like from the record companies.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of a bank of samples and records. You can take it. Nowadays, you can just download the library.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing these days. I wish I had it like that back then, but it's I can't put out real sample records because they sue me now, so I can't do that no more. So I gotta hide it, or it's gotta be really obscure. It's gotta be way different samples for me.
And in this, when you're in the music studio, you have a music creation plan, or just flow in the studio. Or how you use the creative process for you?
Every record and every day is different.
Yeah.
So it's you could tackle it from the vocals first, or from the beat, or from idea you heard in a cafe. Every day, every essence is different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
I never make a record exactly the same.
It's a question that many people ask to us, mostly in the programs we have here. How to follow the path, how to produce. It's like, no, you have to just flow. You have to feel it. You have to feel the beat on your ideas. And
sometimes you have a formula, but I'm just saying it still doesn't coming out. It doesn't come out exactly like the formula all the time.
Yeah,
it's different.
You got the formula, but from different process.
I got hundreds of formulas, but that's what I'm saying. It's different every day. Every person you meet is different. So that's how the records.
We didn't mention Carlos, DJ Sneak.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a good friend.
Yeah. We all go back to like that's strictly rhythm days. Armand, Roger. It's like we got a little tight family.
Yeah, all of you are like pioneers.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Thank for that.
Okay. Cool.
Styles. Different styles, like creating, producing drum bass, break beats. House.
I've done a lot of different styles, from hip hop, freestyle, drum and bass.
With different AKAs, or always as Todd Terry?
Different names, and sometimes me, sometimes not me. I like to mix everything up. I don't like it to be just a standard format. I'll just go do a Latin album tomorrow. And I'll put my name on it. I don't care.
Yeah, because other thing that people ask to us is like, okay, I want to create my own profile. I have to follow a style, instead of doing a lot of things. And this is sometimes that this a topic that people ask us. What's your point of view of this?
I think music is free. You can just be what you want to be. You can do this, do that, do whatever. You don't have to stay to, okay, you did that type of music. Now you got to stay doing that music. You can do techno, house, whatever you want. It's according to how people look at it, how the labels look at it. It's different. It's different all the time for different people.
Do you have your own label?
Yeah, I have In-House, Freeze, and Terminator.
3 labels.
Yeah, I got more labels than that, but that's the ones I work with now. Yeah.
But is your own label, or you make music for them?
No, that's my own labels.
Your own labels.
Those are my labels, yeah.
And what the aim of the labels is, like just collecting music from?
Well, Freeze is more like old school. Terminator's the techno stuff with Alexander Technique, and In-House is like we try different things, more songs, pop, house, different artists and stuff like that.
You have a team managing this?
We got like a four people team.
Designer.
Yeah, but the main person is Bill Klatt. He runs the label, and then we got some other people here and there, but freelance more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you studio freak, like with machines?
I go in and out of it. Like I'll get. I mean, I'm in the computer now. I'm in the box now. But I could go in and do 10 tracks, and then I don't do 10 tracks for like 3 weeks, or I could just keep on going for months with just a bunch of tracks. So I do a lot.
And nowadays, are you working in the studio, in analog studios, or just in the box?
No, just in the box, and then I send it to the guy at the label, Bill Klatt, and he mixes everything, and we just go back and forth until it sounds right.
Nice, good, very good way.
Yeah.
So tonight you are playing here for Jackie's. Where is the party tunnel? Bikini, see? Is Bikini?
Yeah.
Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem. The place of the same of the house class with Andres on that time.
Cool.
Okay, and tomorrow you have an early flight.
Tomorrow I fly away.
to
New York.
To New York, back to Brooklyn. Still living in Brooklyn?
I'm everywhere. I can't even put it. I'm gonna be in New Jersey actually.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Is your favorite place in the world, Jersey, to living there?
No, I don't like New York like I used to like New York, but I live in Atlanta, Georgia, actually. Atlanta, yeah.
Why is not like you don't like too much?
Well, New York used to be really cool and everything, but now it's. I mean, I've been there for a long time, so there's better places in the world.
Okay. You like going to the beach or having the time on the...
No, I have a nice tan already. I don't need a beach.
Okay, you know that you are tired. You have a delay to come here.
Yeah.
And you have a super early flight. We really appreciate. It's not easy to having you. It's a pleasure for us to have you here down in our studios.
It's all good. Thank you.
We will avoid the Q&A for today because you have to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a couple questions.
Okay,
right here.
guys, if you want someone, I don't know, don't be shy.
Hi, my name is Danny. First of all, I want to thank you for your music.
Thank you.
It's truly an inspiration for everyone that loves music.
Yeah.
And house music, especially for me.
Great.
I wanted to ask you, where do you see house music going as a movement and music? If it's going to be the same path that it's now, or can you see more fusion that it could fusion with other styles like Latin that you're trying to do a lot now?
Well, there's a lot of fusions, with house. You got Brazilian, you got Latin, you got R&B now, you got artists like Beyonce and stuff like that doing house music now. So, I just think we need more house songs on radio or make them more popular and stuff like that. But we're merging with the rest of the world really fast. Okay.
Someone else? Yeah.
Yeah, my question is there any artist that triggered your career in a more personal way than just music?
Well, I hang out with a lot of artists, so it's like it's just me and the fellas and everything like that. That's what intrigues me to keep on going. We're always calling each other and like, yo, what are you doing next? Oh, let's meet up. I just did this track. I'm gonna send it to you. It's a lot of action that we have between, me, Louie, Kenny, Roger, Sneak, David. It's just we got a whole coalition going on. So we all talk to each other, and that's what just keeps us intrigued by what we do.
Surrounded with talented people in the same path.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of talk and hanging out and just having good times with each other.
The most important thing.
Yep.
Enjoy life and love what you do.
You only got one life.
Okay, Todd. Thank you very much for coming.
Great. Thank you.